An Iowa education leader's been watching what's happening in Minnesota and now worrying about her teenage son here. See how George Floyd and Daunte Wright's deaths are impacting her family. Plus why some neighbors in smaller communities seem hesitant to get a COVID-19 vaccination. And in the Insider's Quick Six, what is working well in one Iowa region?
From your local election headquarters, this is the Insiders with Dave Price.
When another black man in Minnesota died after an incident with a police officer, Dwana Bradley worried it's happening again. A police officer shot Daunte Wright after he resisted arrest when officers tried to arrest him on an outstanding warrant for unlawfully possessing a weapon. A year before, George Floyd died after a police officer forced a knee on his neck as police investigated a complaint that Floyd had used a counterfeit bill. Now, following both of these killings, thousands of people have protested in the streets, and some have destroyed property, thrown objects at law enforcement. Dwana Bradley is the editor of Urban Experience magazine. She's a former teacher, chair of the Des Moines School Board, and a parent of a college-age daughter and a high school-age son. Here's what she thought following Wright's death.
That's the first thought that goes through my mind is like, what else can happen there, you know, to this state for them to be able to endure this? But then my heart goes out to people who look like me. I mean, we hold so much in. So what you're seeing, and a lot of people go, well, they're tearing things up and they're causing all this destruction. Just imagine seeing things constantly, day after day after day, or experiencing things, whether you're at work or, you know, whatever, and you hold those things in because you don't normally let those things out. And what you're seeing in Minnesota is exactly that. We've held stuff in for so long, and we've kept quiet for so long, and we've tried to hope and pray and that things will change. And then this happens, and after you've just held it in for so long, you're going to react. And we all will react to this differently. And for me, it's been tears. You know, for me, it's been frustration. And for me, it's just been trying to answer the question that I think we're still trying to answer today, is why.
Well, you're a woman of color, but you're raising a young man.
Yes.
So how does that impact you?
Every day, it impacts me. My son is at driving age, so he can drive, and every time he leaves that house, the image that comes in my mind of him getting stopped is that it could end his life. There's not a time he doesn't leave my house that I'm not concerned for his safety. Because when I think about Daunte and the fact that he called his mom, it's the exact same thing my son would do.
When he got stopped?
Yeah, when he got stopped, he called his mom. My son would do the exact same thing. My son accidentally just bumped into somebody and freaked out and came straight home, and I was like, you can't ever do that again, you know, but because he knows that I'm the place to turn to that will bring him comfort, because mom's gonna tell you what to do. Mom's gonna tell you the right thing to do, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be okay. And I thought about Daunte, and I thought about my son. He would have called me, and he would have done exactly what I would have said. Stay there, just do whatever they need. If I need to talk to them, I'll do it. And to tell your child all the right things to do, and for it to cost them their lives. Yeah, there's not a black mother in the city or this state or in the United States that doesn't have the same feelings that I have when we watch our sons go out the door, because we don't know if it's gonna be their last moment. And you always wanna make sure I love you, let me know if you need everything, but I shouldn't have to feel that way when my son walks out the door, and I feel it every single time he leaves me. And I see images in my mind every time he walks away from me.
At the magazine, you're trying to lead more deeper conversations about a lot of issues when it comes to particularly issues as they impact people of color.
Yes.
As you step back on this, and you're sharing the story about your concerns about your son, we saw all those marches last summer here. In some cases, we saw that frustration, as you talk about, boil over, where there was destruction, violence, that kind of stuff. So we're now a year after this almost. And of course, we've had COVID in the middle of this too.
Right.
Are you seeing anything where conversations are different, or is really nothing any different than it was before George Floyd got killed?
I think COVID gave us a pause a little bit, and I think what COVID did was it woke us up to the reality that we as Blacks know have always existed. Now you're seeing it in living color. I think we're at a point to where we're getting to a point to where we're trying to figure out, how does this change? What do we need to do? We're having more conversations. I'm a big proponent of conversations. A lot of people are tired of talking, and I completely understand that. But I think it's the conversations that we get to connect with each other on this deeper level that says, okay, when I hear you, I can feel you. I can look in your eyes and I can understand. I can see your pain. I can feel your frustration. What can I do to help? And I think we're getting more people who want to help. More organizations, more businesses that are saying, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. What can we do to help? And I think that's that's a great start. What can you do to help so that we can start to elevate this to a point to where we need to change? And I think it starts with conversation.
Okay, you're the chair of the Des Moines School Board. So you talked about what's been exposed during COVID here. Well, some of the things that have been exposed are educational access. So the Des Moines district in particular, where you were having students learn remotely that whole time, that in a lot of ways that the quality of the education can be dependent on home life, access to technology, whether the child has somebody to kind of lead him or her through this, depending on how the setup is. But as you know, there are health disparities that have been brought out here, maternal health, access to vaccines, transportation to go get vaccine, all those kind of things. So where can you point to any progress that has been made?
I think the progress happens now because we've learned tons of lessons. I believe, for myself, we focus so much on safety, and let's just be honest, here in Des Moines, that was the #1 priority for us, was safety. But then as I continued to focus on safety, I said, but then what about the access to technology? What about the fact that if I bring you back into school, now I might expose you to the virus, and that could impact you too. So I was in this spot where people who look like me were going to be impacted by this no matter what. And I think what I see now is the reflection back of, were there mistakes that were made? Of course. Like if one person doesn't say, oh, no, we did everything right. We did not, But I think what we do now is we look back and reflect and say, oh, those are some areas where we could have done that differently. Or maybe we should have handled it this way. So where going forward, you won't see that. But I think what COVID did was it brought up all those things that you mentioned to the light. So now it's our job as a district to say, how are we going to address those issues for our students so that they don't deal with that? What are we going to do now to push them forward so that they can be successful? We've got a year of education loss to make up for. But when you think about that, for people who look like me, it's more like 3 years of educational loss if you were already behind 2 years. Now we've got 3 years, maybe 4 years of educational. So what are we going to do for our students to push them there? And I think now we're starting to have those conversations. It's unfortunate that the pandemic had to bring all of this to the fold.
Up next, the hesitancy to get vaccinated against that health pandemic that's killed nearly 6,000 Iowans.